Hey yo, what's going on, guys? Vegan here, and it's been a minute, I'm not gonna lie. Really want to go into a bunch of excuses why I've been gone for a little bit, but the point is, I'm back in my Godzilla groove, and I'm back, and I'm here to talk about much more Godzilla. I got a bunch of videos planned, but the reason I'm here is because I wanted to let you guys know what I think about the recent Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, and I thought it was absolutely awesome. It was just so badass. And I knew some of you guys might want to, know my input or what I feel about it. So, there is a couple things in the trailer that I do want to talk about. Some things people are asking me about. So, because there are misconceptions people are coming up with already just by the trailer. So, I kind of want to clear it up or possibly suggest a new line of thinking. So first things first, people have been asking me about what I think about the soundtrack, which people are saying that it's dumb, it's generic, it's whatever, it doesn't fit well with the film. I think it's absolutely badass and fire. I believe it's Here We Go by Chris Classic. It's a really badass song, even if you listen to it alone. It gives me a lot of Pacific Rim vibes. So I don't really understand the criticism of the soundtrack being bad because I honestly think it's awesome. And it's, even for those people who don't like it, it's really likely that we won't even hear the song in the film anyway. One of the major things people often bring up is that there's clearly a lot more bias towards Kong in the trailer, at least, which I kind of already suspected that and didn't really mind it, just because, well, Kong is always usually seen as the more sympathetic, the more tragic, the more heroic one, whereas Godzilla's roots are always in like being a representation of nuclear destruction and being the bad guy, even though betraying the character of legendary Godzilla, where he's more of a guardian of the planet and not like an intentional destroyer. He doesn't go out of his way to hurt people, and I know there was that one scene that people bring up, like, oh, the Godzilla created a tsunami and killed a bunch of people and a girl and a dog or whatever, but he didn't intentionally do that. That's just the obviously he's going to infect the environment around him just because of, I mean, look at him. He's a 90,000 plus ton lizard. I mean, you try being that size and not causing some destruction. I don't really have a problem with Kong being the hero of the movie. I mean, they do need to have an excuse to have them fight in some way. But it does seem like the little girl plot line being connected to Kong, along with a lot more ancestor lore about how Godzilla and Kong have been having this big war over their species for possibly millions of years. It's really interesting, and I always appreciated the MonsterVerse for its lore, even if sometimes it's not very consistent. But it's really just a lot of scenes of, oh, Godzilla punches Kong, then showing clips of Kong's past or a human character. So it really is a lot of bias towards Kong, but I think that's mostly because the writers knew, or the people who advertised the movie knew, oh, what do people usually think when they think of Godzilla versus Kong? Oh, obviously Godzilla would win. He has the atomic breath. He survives nuclear explosions all the time. So they were probably like, with this first trailer, we're going to show people that it's not going to be one-sided. So they really lean towards Kong the most, which I can understand that. So it wasn't a huge problem for me as long as, Godzilla plays a good part in which he is one of the title characters. And like I've heard rumors that, oh, he might be disguised and it might just be Mecha Godzilla, but that sounds really dumb. I just want it to be Godzilla and Kong. Also, a lot of people are talking about, oh, vegan, you're a power scaling guy. You should, you know, help explain the consistencies and the power scaling of the series. And well, there is a lot of clips of Kong punching Godzilla or like knocking him off the battleship or beating him around, whereas Godzilla didn't really land a hit in the film. Where I have a bigger explanation because people say, oh, well, if Godzilla's so fast as you say he did, then why didn't, he just dodge Kong's attacks or whatever? And I have a bigger explanation for that I will get to a bit. But if you see the actual clips, Kong's attacks or Kong's punches don't really do much other than just move Godzilla, which, I mean, anybody can move you with a punch, but to hurt you, it's like a different story. Obviously, there's a huge power gap between Godzilla and Kong, where Godzilla has been able to tank nuclear explosions and he literally eats them for breakfast. So meanwhile, Kong, he's lifting like maybe 800, 2,000 ton rocks. It's very not comparable, so I could see why they need a lot of representation for Kong to make him look good, so debates are actually relevant and hype up the movie more. So I don't think Kong's punches are really gonna hurt Godzilla significantly. And in the trailer, they explain that Godzilla is being manipulated in some way. He's attacking other cities or whatever, and they need to find out why he's going out of control, which would explain why he's not really fighting at his top game, where he's just letting Kong punch him in the face and knock him off the battleship, or he's not really reacting the way he should. He's being manipulated by some other party, which could explain why he's not really reacting or is as aware as he should be. So that's a possible explanation for that. Also, a really cool thing that I really love that they did, and I was hearing rumors of, but I'm really happy that it turned out to be true, and that is Kong's new axe. I think this is a really good idea because what I wanted from this trailer was I wanted it to clear up some things, because obviously it's trying to solve the idea of, oh, how can Kong, this dude who gets shot off buildings and dies in most of his movies, is going to fight Godzilla, who's been killing other monsters the same size and strength and power as him for decades. He's going to use his intellect and create a axe that is made out of one of Godzilla's dorsal plates. I believe it is. I'm pretty sure it is. That's why he's able to take the axe is able to take one of Godzilla's atomic breath blasts and then able to hurt Godzilla himself, because that gave me, I wanted a good explanation on how Kong could actually be able to hurt Godzilla, and that's a really good idea, because I think that's how it's going to go. Kong's going to realize his physical strength and attacks isn't really going to get past Godzilla. So he's going to need to he's going to have to find a way to use Godzilla's power against him, which has happened in a bunch of other movies like GMK. So I think that's a really good idea, and that could really give me a good explanation on how Kong could win. So how I hope this film would go, if I had to guess or choose myself, there would be two fights. There would be the first fight on the battleship where Godzilla comes up, fights Kong. Kong gets his ass beat by Godzilla, gets burned by his atomic breath, gets completely beaten and battered. Because if Godzilla is going to be the villain, go full on villain. Like he's being manipulated into, if he's being manipulated or mind controlled by somebody, have him be the full on villain. And in every story, the villain needs to show that they're a threat to the hero. So have Godzilla beat the hell out of Kong, show why he's a real big one-sided threat to Kong, and then once he definitively wins that fight, y'all can go to a second fight in the city or whatever, where Kong realizes he's not going to be able to do anything unless he gets help from the military and uses his smarts. And so he's able to get one of Godzilla's scales, make it into an axe, and therefore he can find a way to actually pierce Godzilla. And under those circumstances, I think it would be a lot more logical if Kong was able to win like that. I would accept Kong being able to win if he's able to use Godzilla's power against him. I'd be totally fine with that. And then they both get a win. Or it could go differently, and there's actually 3 fights, which would be pretty badass. Godzilla wins one, Kong wins one, and then the final tiebreaker, which would just make it even more tense. I really can't wait for this. So, nothing really wrong with this trailer for me. It really hyped me up a lot more. At first, I was excited, but this made me even more excited. And don't worry, I'm working on more videos. I believe I have a Sci-Fi Explained video that I've been working on for a while, so I haven't been completely ignoring you guys. I've been reading the comments, y'all's nice debates. Y'all are getting a little smart down there, coming up with y'all's ideas, giving me video suggestions, so I really appreciate it. Keep it coming. I'm going to try to get more videos out. As for the King Kong 19100, his latest video, I'm definitely going to plan a rebuttal. I haven't watched it yet, but I do want to wait until we have all the information, and I want to wait till the Godzilla vs. Kong film is released, and then, Godzilla Dominion and Kingdom Kong, and I have all the information I need to come up with not just a rebuttal for his arguments, but a definitive decision on the debate. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and till next time.